Take a seat and welcome to the sit down. Hey everybody, before we get started, if you guys could please just check, if you're listening on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It just helps us on our part in getting this out to as many people as possible. So please subscribe to the channel, like this post, share it with a friend. That's how this works. We're going to do this the old-fashioned way, and man, word of mouth is the best thing. So if this helped you today, go ahead and share it with somebody else. Hit the share button, and let's get this thing rolling. But thank you for tuning in, and let's get to it. All right, guys. Well, welcome to the sit down and another episode. What episode are we on, Garrett? Do we know the number?
19.
We're on number 19, coming up on 20. That's pretty cool. You know, I heard one of my mentors and actually one of my coaches told me that if you have more than 10 episodes, you are in the top 10% of podcasts in the world. That's kind of amazing. What that tells me is that a lot of people get something started and it just fizzles out. They don't want to put in the consistency or just maybe the passion fades out. But episode 19 is cool. Coming up on episode 20. And with episode 20, a couple changes. Number one, things that aren't going to change. Let's talk about things that aren't going to change first. Number one is this is always going to be a free podcast. Number two, we're always going to put one out every other week. We might start adding in some more content, but we're never going to be less than every other week. Garrett is going to probably redo some of the intros. We have new lighting. And so, you know, new intro. Garrett, you kind of want a little revamp. Not even a revamp, maybe just a reset and just tweak a couple things. We have learned a lot in our first 19 episodes. I'm going to have Anna come on here at some point to tell her story. And we're going to talk about it more when she comes on. But our first episode, you guys, it will go down as one of the biggest... Garrett, help me out with wording on this. Failures and rebounds. Learning curve. Lessons. It was a lesson. And anyway, I just number 19, next podcast when we have an awesome guest on. I'm so excited for that guest and for the people to hear that story and that perspective. Number 20 will be pretty cool for us, but number 19 is awesome nonetheless. Got a few things that we want to talk about here today. A couple things that I think should hopefully hit home for some people, and then some fun stuff as well. And I don't know about you guys, but I locked in and was more gripped by this year's Winter Olympics than all the years past. I don't really even remember other Winter Olympics. I remember when I was really young hearing about Salt Lake City and how the U.S. had hosted it. But I don't really remember being all that into him outside of Shaun White. We talked about Shaun White last episode. I was hooked on the Winter Olympics for a good week. And I think there was a couple reasons. Number one, we'll talk a little bit about it. The U.S. versus Canada hockey matchup that everyone was waiting for. That's both on the women's side and the men's side. I think that's an awesome rivalry, especially living in a border state. North Dakota borders Manitoba and Saskatchewan. I love the Canadians. Like Anna and I, we went up to Manitoba and went up to Winnipeg this past year. They're great people. They're just like us. When you look at Manitoba and Saskatchewan, I don't even know what you call them. Saskatchewans, Albertans, but like the interior of the Canadian provinces, those people and us are all like. But that being said, the hockey rivalry, they think they own hockey. Not anymore. So that rivalry was awesome. I think I was maybe a little bit more intrigued with it too because of where it was at. And as you guys know, if you're an avid listener of this podcast, you know I love geography. I love world travel. And this year it was hosted by Milan. And Italy is at the top of my list when it comes to world places that I want to travel to and experience. Not only is Italy got so much culture when you look at the history of it, and Garrett and I are both kind of history nuts, and you look at the Roman Empire, and so much happened in history in that area. There's so much rich culture there, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And Milan is in northern Italy. It's right next to Lake Como. I've always said that a dream vacation for me would be like a week at Lake Como and then go down and get into, wine country in Italy, and then maybe finish on the Amalfi Coast. But Italy is unbelievable when it comes to sights to see, cities to visit, culture to experience. Gary, I had a question for you guys. Do you guys have like a dream spot that you would want to travel to across seas?
For me, Rome.
Rome is in there. So Italy again. Yeah, I mean, what is it about Rome though that you want to see?
I think so. One of my favorite classes in high school was world history.
Yeah.
And my favorite unit in the whole class was ancient Rome.
Yeah.
And like learning about the Colosseum and all the good and bad that happened in Rome, I think was super interesting, and I think seeing that in person would be really cool.
Yeah, the history, the culture, like Colosseum, the architecture of the Colosseum, it's unbelievable. As a stadium junkie, like the first great behemoth stadium that anyone thinks of is the Colosseum. I mean, held what, 80,000, 100,000, something like that. I mean, you think about that in today's terms, that's like building Bryant-Denny Stadium down in Alabama. I mean, 100,000, that's like the big house at Michigan. It's unbelievable that they were able to do that in the time that they were living in. So Rome, yeah, absolutely. The history that's in Rome. But you also think of like Florence, and think of really like the history and how the world shifted in the arts and music and the philosophers that came out of Italy. Florence holds so much history. Talk about Venice, the floating city that is sinking, by the way. And then you go up to Milan, you got Lake Como, you got the Alps there. I mean, it's just an unbelievable country. And so I think the geography of it probably drew me in a little bit more than in past years. But any Olympic recap from you guys? Anything that stood out? Now we're a week removed from it. We do need to talk about USA-Canada hockey. Were you watching the game? Unbelievable the amount of people that were tuned in. I think the numbers came out. I think it was 24 or 26 million at the peak.
That's insane. We actually know people that were there.
Really? Some of your friends went?
Yep, Paige and Mason Walters.
Yeah.
You know Mason?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played with Paige in college, and she went over to visit him because he's overseas playing pro basketball, and they were like, we're so close, we have to go.
Yes.
But they had bought the tickets before they knew it was going to be USA versus Canada.
They took a gamble.
Yep, and it paid off.
Absolutely. What an amazing game. And it was interesting because obviously Italy is far ahead of us time zone wise, and the men's hockey final is the last event before the closing ceremonies. And so there has to be some time for the closing ceremonies to happen. And so they pushed it as far back as they could, but still that was at 8 a.m. Central, I think, start. Or is it 7 a.m. Central? 7:10 Central? Okay, maybe 8 a.m. Eastern. That would make sense. And so like out on the West Coast, it was 5 a.m. And yet 26 million, something like that, people tuned in. It was the most watched sporting event before a 9 a.m. start in American history. So just a super cool event. And then it completely lived up to expectations. 2 days prior, the women, unbelievable, deke of a goal, goes around the defender, goes 5-hole, wins the gold medal for the U.S. That was incredible. Let's throw in that highlight before we keep on going. Give the women some props. Unbelievable game. And then we get, I think, the greatest hockey game, skill-wise, competitive-wise, really in history. And people will argue and say the 1980 Miracle on Ice is that. You're right, but those were college kids. When you talk about the actual skill of the game, we had the world's best hockey players on the ice, and it was just an unbelievable display of sport. And I'm not saying that this was a bigger upset. 1980 Miracle on Ice absolutely holds that crown. But when you talk about best on best, greatest hockey game of all time, I think it takes the top spot. And then we go into overtime, and 3-on-3 overtime was crazy. I loved it. The hockey, naturalists are like, it's not real hockey. But, man, the rules were set before. Like Canada won a game in 3-on-3 in the quarters to get to the gold medal game. They didn't have any problem with it then. But now that they lost, they're saying, it's not real hockey. Well, they also had 3 of the best players in the world, if not the best 3. And for the sports junkies out there, I'm going to start dropping names. If you don't know who they are, it's okay. But Connor McDavid is probably he is the best player in the world right now. He's arguably the best player ever. And he hasn't won a championship yet. But Connor McDavid was on the ice for Canada. Nathan MacKinnon, who has won the MVP in the NHL, widely considered the second best player in the world, he was on the ice for Canada. Cale Makar, widely thought as the best defenseman in the world, on the ice for Canada. All 3 of them. Their 3 best players were on the ice, and yet America somehow, from the depths of chances, comes in and wins a gold medal. I went crazy. I just started yelling. I don't know what anyone's reactions are, but I was just completely captivated by it, and so. We'll talk about it more at the end if it's something good, but...
Did you see Dave Portnoy's tweet?
What did he say? About the curling?
About hockey in America being like a hobby sport. Like it's very niche, and hockey is Canada.
That's all they have. He's like, hockey is our 4th most popular sport. Our 4th... and it's true. They talked about it on Pardon My Take about how, we're going to talk about this hockey game for, a week or two. And then we got March Madness, and we're just going to move on. We're going to talk about March Madness. We're going to talk about the NFL draft. Then the NBA finals will start. We'll talk about that. And we'll kind of, we'll move on. Canada's going to be stuck on this for the next 4 years, which stinks for them. But hockey is an awesome sport. I do think living in North Dakota and having Minnesota as our next door neighbor, we understand how cool a sport hockey is. I don't know if America is fully aware of how awesome it is. And you talk about camaraderie, team, togetherness, all that kind of stuff. You see it in hockey. It's a physical gladiator type sport that requires a ton of skill. But the brotherhood is the coolest part of it. And let's flash up a picture and maybe a couple videos of what happened after the U.S. won. Because as cool of a moment as it was for Jack Hughes to score the overtime winner, the coolest part of the whole thing was what happened after the game. And when the Tkachuk boys and a couple of the other guys are skating around the ice with Johnny Gaudreau's jersey. For those that don't know, Johnny Gaudreau was on the USA hockey team, died along with his brother after a drunk driver hit them. They were biking on the side of the road. He died, I believe, at the end of 2024. And they're skating around the ice with Gaudreau's jersey because it was bigger than themselves. And then they're taking the team picture and they're holding, Gaudreau's number 13 jersey, and they're kind of waiting. And the announcers talk about, there's 2 guys going out into the crowd and they're going to grab Johnny's kids to bring him in for this picture. And that right there is what made that game so special for me. Obviously an unbelievable performance by both teams, but it was bigger than just the performance. Like, it's the brotherhood, and it's who you're doing it with and who you're doing it for. We talk about it all the time. I harp on it. You hear it from me, boy, probably every other podcast. Man, who you do life with and who you do it for will always be more important than what you do in it. And of course, scoring the game-winning goal, winning a gold medal, that's amazing. But you could see it. That team, those guys meant so much to each other. And the one guy that wasn't there, that didn't get to experience it, man, they were doing it for him. And they were doing it for the USA across the shirt. And they were doing it for the kids that they brought out and sat on their laps. That's so special. It gives me goosebumps even thinking about it right now, because that is the power of sport. And it can bring people together. And for a brief day, a brief morning, our country felt like it was united. It really did. And so shout out to the Winter Olympics. We probably got to move on. I could talk about that game for an hour, but A plus to the Winter Olympics on the ending. Man, what a display. USA, proud of it. Let's get to our unofficial sponsor of the podcast today. Making its return, the Alani Mini. Going with the peach today. Normally I'm kind of an orange. What's a cream? You know what I'm talking about? Golly, that's the best one. And they don't even have them in the fulls, like in the big 3-packs or whatever. You got to get the minis. The peach is okay.
That's like one chug for you.
This bad boy, I could put this down quick.
How small it is in your hand.
Just dwarf it. Just dwarf it. Yeah. Just claw this thing. Eat the whole thing. And then I also wanted to highlight, unlike Garrett, I actually have some depth to my something good. So this would have been his something good, but I'm just going to show you guys. Let's get in on this. These are like little mixed berry yogis, they're called. I don't know if this is like a little kid's treat, but these are my treat too. These are so good. They're yogurt covered fruit snacks, essentially. And I love yogurt covered anything. Like yogurt covered raisins are good. Yogurt covered freeze dried raspberries are good. Like, I love yogurt covered anything. Boy, yogurt covered fruit snacks, yogis for short. Yeah. Sign me up. You need investors? I'm willing to invest. These bad boys are so good. So, for those that are just listening and not watching, they're made by Nature's Garden, a little purple packet. Probiotic mixed berry yogis. Real fruit bites coated in creamy yogurt. Unbelievable. Good stuff. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's podcast. And then we'll end with some fun stuff. But you know, we'll get them on here maybe at the end of the school year, maybe in a couple months when all the sports seasons wrap up. Basketball season came to an end for my sisters. They had an amazing season. There were 20 wins, 1 loss going into the regional tournament, and ended up losing 2 games, really tightly competitive games, and the season comes to an end. And one team's got to win, one team's got to lose, but anytime you finish a season and you don't accomplish some of the goals that you set, it's hard. And we were sitting actually right in this living room. I was talking with my sister and just talking about the season. And she's a senior and she's now going to be done playing basketball and go pursue track and field at the collegiate level. And she said something to me that I really related with. It resonated with me. And I think it's going to resonate with the listeners too. But she said, I'm so tired of lessons. Because I'm guilty of it. We always try and reframe situations with, there's a lesson hidden in this situation. There's a lesson from it. What can we learn from it? How can we get better? We're we're trained, and our minds are trained to find the good in things and find the thing that we can improve on. And she just said, man, I'm so tired of lessons. Like, I just want them to pay off. I want to be at the top. I want to see the fruit of my labor. And I think we get to a point in our lives where we put so much into something, and when we don't see the results that we want, there's this thought of, man, was it really worth it? You know, like, it didn't pay off. The work didn't pay off. And I think we need to separate those two. I don't think they get to be together. Like, was it worth it and did it pay off are two completely separate things. Did it pay off? Sometimes the work doesn't pay off. Man, my buddy Derek Paulson, we played college football together. We lifted together. He was my lifting partner for years. One of my good buddies. He always says, sometimes hard work doesn't pay off. Like, you don't get what you want. The results don't come. You fail. That does not mean, though, that it wasn't worth it. The work was worth it. And what I mean by that is I think there is a lot of joy to be found, and there's a lot of meaning in how you do what you do and how you go about it. And it really is the difference between, being result focused and process focused of, man, I'm really not even concerned about what you did. I'm concerned about how you did it and the character that you showed and built within you. Because in the end, about this, sports aren't the end all be all. They are fun. They are great life teachers, relationship builders. But I think we can all agree that how you raise your family, how you run your business, how you treat others, that are close with you, your family, your friends, that's what sports teaches. How you pursue, doing good upon others and building stuff, building a career, building your life. That's what these lessons teach you. And the point of sport, I think, of course, is to win, but how you win, how you go about and pursue winning, it matters. And I felt for my sister Elizabeth, because she had felt in that moment like, I'm just so tired of always learning and trying to get better. Like, why can't I just be the best for once? And she's gonna get it just like I got it someday, where being a champion, it's not really even about a championship. Being a champion is an everyday thing, and we fail. We make mistakes. We fall short. But how we come back to it, how we respond to it, how we go back to work, how we make changes in our lives and try and get better. That pursuit, that's really what matters. How you inspire young people around you. Elizabeth doesn't even know this. Probably she knows maybe some of it, but not nearly to the extent. Man, people around this region, they want to be like Elizabeth Pinky. And young girls look at her and think, man, I want to be like her. Not just what she does on the court or what she's going to do this spring in track and field. Not just athletically, but like the type of person she is. And we got told from a parent from another school district that her daughter came home after playing Elizabeth and said, I just want to be the type of teammate she is and lead my team like she leads. Man, if you can have a competitor say that about you, you must be doing something right. I mean, I had a teacher at our school district who's got young kids come up to me and say, my kid, she has no better role model that I could think of than your sister. That's pretty cool. So I think how you elevate your teammates, how you sacrifice not only for yourself, but for your teammates, your community, how you do what you do. That matters. And no matter what the scoreboard said at the end of the season, she already won. And their team, how they competed, they won. And so I'm pretty proud of them. I saw a quote the other day that I wanted to share, and maybe it'll hit home for you. But I really think I could see it in my sister, being the lone senior on that team. It was cool to see her lead. And I saw this quote in NG, and I was maybe thinking about doing this for something good, but I'm just going to throw it in now. But purpose is not the thing that you do. It's the thing that happens in others when you do what you do. And I got thinking of that. It's like, boy, if we could all adopt that into our lives, like our purpose isn't really even what we do. It's what happens in other people when we do what we do. Does it inspire other people? Does it bring them up with you? Does it make them feel valued? Does it challenge them, but in a way that brings better out of them? Like, that's purpose. And I saw that with Elizabeth. And so when she's done with high school in a couple months, we'll get her on here and just do a solo with her, because she had a special career. And we're gonna highlight that and honor that. But she's not done yet. She's got one more season left. So it was exciting though, to watch them all season. 21 wins was awesome. Anytime you can get to 20 wins, it's pretty impressive. So really, really cool. Yeah, I can relate with her, and I can relate with Garrett and Anna, and we've all had those moments where you feel like, man, life just isn't fair. Like, I did put in the work to deserve this. Why am I not seeing the results? And for those that are in that boat right now, where it feels like you just can't win, like you're putting in so much work and no one is seeing you, no one is valuing you, no one can relate with the struggle that you're going through. And man, I've been told my whole life that if I put in the work, like eventually I'm gonna see the fruits of my labor come back. And where's the fruit? It feels like my life is dried up. And I'm just telling you, there is a good day around the corner. It's around the corner. You might not be able to see it right now, but with consistency, we talked about it last episode. With consistency, you keep showing up. The work is worth it. The work is worth it. And there is joy in the journey. There's joy in the journey. You might not see it right now, but later on, you look back and go, okay, all that was teaching me so that I can be the person that I am right now in this moment. And that realization later on in life, it'll be worth it. All the work might not pay off for a result in the moment, in the present tense, but it will be worth it. The lessons that you learn along the way. So be encouraged by that today. One of the lessons that I learned, that lesson, when we lost in the national championship game for back-to-back seasons, and I remember thinking to myself, like, golly, like the results just didn't come like I thought. That is the season that we're in now. We're in basketball season. We're in the end of it. And I am a huge spring fan, in the sense of winter is over. That being said, we talked about it last week. We're kind of in this weird phase where, is winter over? Is spring coming? I'm not really even sure. But the phase that we are in, G, and you talked about it when we did our fall draft of favorite fall activities, is that college basketball started. Well, college basketball is coming to an end. And so we did this at Northwestern. What was that? In August? that seems like a long time ago. I don't know if you guys remember that episode. That's when I was constipated and your boy took a laxative, and that could have been bad, but it all turned out all right.
I also couldn't hear.
You couldn't hear. That is crazy. I remember that. Yeah. That was a fun trip.
You can't take these two anywhere.
Oh my goodness. We're going to go back to Northwestern, by the way. And I've got a good relationship with those guys out there, and man, they're building something really cool. And so Northwestern, boy, that was a trip. But we did a blind ranking of, that season, and we were pretty good with college football. But as March Madness comes, I want to do something kind of fun in that I want to predict who the national champion will be on the men's and the women's side here at the beginning of March. So 1 month from now, we'll know the champions, but I want to see how well we know ball. And so we are each going to get 2 teams, okay? Anna, Garrett, myself, we're each going to get 2 teams. We get to pick the 2 teams that we feel are going to have a chance at winning a national championship. Here's what's going to happen. I'm just making this up on the fly, but we're going to hold to it, okay? If one of us predicts the national champion, okay, the winner is going to receive a spa package to the spa Thermia up in Winnipeg. So up to, let's call it up to $300 in value. So that's what we're doing. We just decided to do that right now. So Anna's like, this is a big deal. I got to start doing some research. She's on the phone. You got your 2. So, but we might draft. This is a draft now. So how this is going to work, Anna, you're going to get first pick. And then Garrett, you'll have second pick. I'll have third and fourth. And then Garrett, you'll have the 5th. Anna will have the 6th. Should we do the men's or the women's side first?
Let's do men's first.
Men's first? Okay. Anna, I'm going to let you have the first pick on the men's side. We are each going to get 2 teams, and we're going to ride those teams through the tournament so that we can cheer for these teams.
Okay, because my husband here is a Duke stan, I'm going to go ahead and pick Michigan.
Okay. That's they're outright Big Ten champs right now. So
it's great to be
Michigan Wolverine. It's great.
And I have a couple family members that are Michigan fans, so I'll go with Michigan.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so he takes the Duke Blue Devils. They are really good. Their 2 losses this year, for those that don't follow college basketball, you might find this boring, but this is what we do. We love watching and analyzing sports. Their 2 losses, number 1 to Texas Tech when they had JT Toppin in a close game. What did they lose by, like 1 or 2?
They were up, I think.
They were up, yes. And then they blew another lead to lose to North Carolina. They were up by double digits in both those games. So they are fantastic. And the fact that they didn't win a national championship last year is amazing, but they are favorites. So we've got Michigan, we have got Duke, which leaves me the Arizona Wildcats. Thank you, Anna. You knew he was going to take Duke, but you could have taken Arizona, and you didn't. You let me have Arizona. I appreciate that. Let's throw up the block A. Come on, bang! There it is. Arizona having a spectacular season. I cheer for them every year, but it's been pretty easy to cheer for them this year. So I've got Arizona. I'm gonna get one more pick here. I'm debating between 2. I'm going to take the University of Connecticut. I'm taking UConn. Dan Hurley, he can coach. He's a tourney time. I'm not going to say my other team because I don't want to give anything to Garrett, but I'm going to take UConn as my second team. Garrett, your pick.
I'm between 2 right now. Can we do 3?
No, we can't.
Please don't.
2 teams.
Oh, man. This is so tough. I want to say Houston, but they looked terrible. I know it was Kansas. So I'm going to take Kansas.
You're going to take Kansas. Wow. That's such a wild card.
Solely on
Darren Peterson. Yes.
if he balls out.
They got a chance. That's right. Yep. Okay, Anna, last pick.
Let me just look here at the. I'm gonna say Houston
Houston.
because Garrett told.
They lost in the national championship last year. They are gritty. They're going to be in every game, I think, in March. They're tough. Do they have the offensive firepower to hang? We'll see. But it's not a bad pick. I mean, they've been top 5 all year.
The bonus round, but it doesn't count.
The bonus round that doesn't count, Florida. Their front court is really good, and they've got a shot.
Iowa State.
Iowa State is another team out of the Midwest that is so good. They got shooters. They got.
So this is interesting. One of my buddies, Mark Jost, played with Nate Heisey in high school.
Nice.
Yeah, Lake City native. Did you see him get that shot off in, I think it was 0.4 seconds?
Yes, no dip. Can we throw that for the basketball junkies out there? Turn on the video here if you're on Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, take a look at this. Take a look at how quick this guy got this shot off.
Finds Jefferson over to the corner, a 3 by Heisey. Yes!
That's incredible.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and it was really to win the game, wasn't it? Yeah. Here's a couple dark horses that maybe we don't think of. They're always in the tournament, but I think they've got actually a shot this year. Gonzaga can make a run. I think Gonzaga is really good this year.
I think, like, what comes to my mind with Gonzaga is they got absolutely blown out by Michigan at the beginning of the year. Like, I think it was 40.
Yeah, they did.
And they kind of just got off my radar after that, but they're always a team that gets better throughout the year.
They're so well coached. Like, Mark Few's such a good coach. They don't have like the Jalen Suggs, Chet Holmgren this year, but they could make a run. And so I think they're really good. What's your wild card? You got one?
My wild card is probably Purdue.
Yeah, Braden
I like
Smith.
Braden Smith a lot. Mm-hmm. I like the way he plays. And, I mean, they're also a team that's super well coached.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Braden Smith is really good. Purdue. I don't see St. John's making a run, but
I like Pitino.
I love Rick Pitino. Bring out the white suit, Rick. Bring out the white suit. Flash the white suit. That's unbelievable. If you can pull off the white suit, you're doing something right. But yeah, college basketball. This tournament's going to be really fun, and I do enjoy March Madness. So there's our teams for the men's side. Let's talk women's side. And now, do I get first pick?
It's only fair.
It is only fair. Now, if Anna or Garrett, you guys win the men's side, and I win the women's side,
Then we're all going.
then it just looks like we're just going to have to go do a spa weekend together. Yeah. I guess I'm a UConn Husky guy because, yeah, I'm taking UConn. Gino Ariema and the ladies 30-0 on the season, looking like they might repeat. So I'll take UConn. Garrett, you're next.
UCLA.
Okay. Kiki Rice, she's really good, and then they got Lauren Betts, I believe, still as well. So, okay. All right, Garrett takes UCLA. Good pick. Anna?
Going with the 3 seed, South Carolina.
South Carolina. Them girls down in Columbia, they're tough. They got a great coach. Don Staley's a great coach down in South Carolina. Man, I really hope one team that I got my eye on slips to me. Go ahead, Garrett.
Anna again.
Oh, it's me?
Oh, yeah. Anna, go ahead. Yeah, you got another one.
I'm going to LSU.
Wow.
LSU.
Taking Kim Mulkey and the Bayou girls down in Baton Rouge. Okay.
Their history, you know.
Yeah. They still got Floje.
That's right.
She can play. She can hoop. All right. Garrett?
Texas.
Good pick. Their coach is awesome. He kind of got a little southern twang to him. He talks about playing defense. That's great. And I really was hoping Texas was going to slip to me because I think Texas actually does have a legit shot. I'm going to pick this is a respect pick. This is a respect. I'm going to pick the Iowa Hawkeyes.
I was going to go with them.
And it would be, I don't know if they have enough to beat like UConn. Like someone's going to need to beat UConn and maybe UCLA too. But what a cool story for a new coach without Caitlin Clark to go back to the Final Four and make a run. And like to lose back-to-backs, but then to win without Caitlin would be awesome. So I got UConn and Iowa. Garrett, you got UCLA and Texas, and Anna, South Carolina and LSU. Went with the SEC. 2 teams out of the SEC. Love it. Okay, well, college basketball is coming to the best time of the year in March Madness.
SEC news, Grant Nelson.
Yes, shout out to Grant Nelson. Just made his NBA debut. I don't care if he played for the Bison. He's a North Dakota guy, Devil's Lake. Unbelievable story for him that he got to make his way battle. I believe he was in the G League for a little bit this year, right? Got a 10-day contract with the Nets, and just let's throw on his first bucket. Awesome little dunk here. Take a look.
The key has to hold. Oh, Grant Nelson, who just signed a 10-day today.
Grant Nelson, Devil's Lake, North Dakota. Congratulations to him. That's big news. I believe that's NDSU's first NBA player. So UND has had a few in the past. Obviously, most well known is Phil Jackson, but first one for NDSU. So Grant Nelson. I know his sister a little bit. We were in Grand Forks at the same time. Aaron, and just an awesome family. So that's super cool for him. All right, let's end this thing with something good though, and get on with our day. Garrett, what do we got?
All right, I gotta spice this up.
Here we go. It's not the lighting today. It's not the. Although the lighting is great. And by the way, I received great comments on the lighting from last podcast.
Is you really?
2 separate people reached out and said, "You tell Garrett that the lighting is spot on."
Whoever those people were, thank you. It's nice to know that the time and effort you put in is
That's
good enough. My something good is a book that I'm currently reading. It's called Atomic Habits. I think a lot of people have probably read it, but I think there's one main thing that I'm taking away from it, and it's how to either build good habits or break bad habits.
Yeah.
And just a couple things that I've learned so far. To build a good habit, there's 4 things. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, or make it satisfying.
Yep.
And then to break a bad habit is kind of the inverse of those. Make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, or make it unsatisfying. And I think it's been really good.
Atomic Habits, if you haven't read it, it's not just like I think this. It's like the science behind how your mind works. And I read it with my study group, and I thought it was really good. I think for some people, it's going to be really deep, and it might be like overload. What I would suggest to those people is you should still read it. I think it's a good book for anybody because habits are what determine the actions in our lives. I think everybody should read it, but take one thing from it. Like take just like a couple things because it's an information overload book. And the one thing I will say on Atomic Habits that I took were the power of 1%. That's like the one thing that stuck with me on that book. On if you can just focus on continual small improvements, those build habits that lead to really big improvements. So, Atomic Habits. That is something good. Good work, G.
I got another story for you.
Okay.
So there's an article that I read, and it's called "Drawing a Perfect Circle," and it's from a Japanese folk tale, and it's this kid. He walks up to one of his wise elders, who's drawing a circle, and he draws a perfect circle. So the student asks the wise elder, "Hey, how can I draw a perfect circle like that?" And the wise elder says, "Got to put in the time and you got to practice." So over and over again, he tried to draw a perfect circle. And then a little bit later, someone walks over comes over his shoulder and says, how did you draw a perfect circle?" And he was now the wise elder, and it was a student looking over his shoulder.
Right.
So I think it's cool because you're always working towards that 1%, right? And it never stops.
Right.
And you're not chasing perfection. You're chasing 1% better.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. When you look actually at the math behind it, I think we've talked about it before on this podcast, but 1.01. That's, 1 is being the whole, you get 1% better, 1.01. If you take that factorial over a year, every single day, you get 1% better. The end is 37.76, I believe. Over 37, almost 38. And so what that tells you is if you get 1% better as a person every single day, by the end of the year, you will be 37 times the person that you were at the start of it. That's amazing. That's the power of small continuous improvement. So whatever that looks like, man, 1% of your day is 9.6 minutes. Let's just call it 10, for even's sake. What can you do today in 10 minutes that will change the rest of your life? G, when you talk about improvements, you just brought up one of the great, really ideas, methods of life. Last week, your something good was the XLT lighting sphere. And now you just brought up Atomic Habits and a Chinese, what do you call it?
Yeah, like a Japanese folktale.
Japanese folktale on philosophical life meaning.
Talk about improvement.
Talk about improvement. You didn't make a 1% improvement there, brother. That was 100% flip. So shout out to G. And if, in all seriousness, if you haven't read Atomic Habits, you should put it on your list. Good work, G.
Also, shout out this light.
No, we're not going back. We're not going back. Anna, tell me something good.
We recently read Matthew. I think it's in Matthew chapter 7, is it? What is it? Garrett's filling it up. 7:13. Let me just read it all up.
Yeah.
Enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction, and those who enter by it are many. For the gate is narrow and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few. Super great. Literally 2 verses, but
It's good stuff. Narrow is the way. It's hard. Man, most of life's things that are truly fulfilling are on the other side of hard. And that includes your walk in your faith and your spirituality. So it's good stuff. Say that verse one more time for us. Matthew what?
7:13.
Let's throw it up on the screen. So if you're watching, here's your chance. You've been searching for an answer. Shout out to Anna for a little nugget there. That's good stuff. All right, my something good today. Excuse me. I got 2. Number 1 is, I want to say his name correctly. I don't know. I might butcher it. Johannes Klebo. Let's flash his picture up. What he just did at the Winter Olympics was incredible. He won 6 gold medals in cross-country skiing. What country do you think he's from? Anna, what's your guess?
Johannes?
Johannes.
Jeez. Probably somewhere warm, because it's like, wait, what? Why is he good at cross country skiing?
It's completely opposite. It's actually, he's from Norway. You would think, oh yeah, that makes sense why he's good at cross country skiing. But an amazing, like, remember when Phelps won 8 in Beijing? He won 6 all in cross country skiing. He's got 11 now, 11 gold medals. He's the most decorated winter Olympic athlete of all time. And he might be, how do I say this? Don't take this the wrong way. He is like the Norwegian perfectly sculpted person. He's got like the blonde hair, blue eyes, good looking guy that just rips on cross country skis. He is their national hero.
Wait, sorry, I missed. Who are we? Are we talking about me?
Oh my God. That might be a special edition to watch Garrett try and cross country ski. You'd fall flat on your face. Oh man, but Johannes Klebo, we were talking in our family cousin chat. I got to chat with a couple of my cousins, and we're like, how do we get Klebo to become American? We got to go get Johannes. So shout out to him. And then we already talked about the hockey game. We're not going to get back into the USA Canada hockey game. Jack Hughes is now a legend for the play that he made and the goal that he scored. But I want to talk about the interview after the game, because that interview will go down as the most raw, authentic, prideful in your country, just like I want to give you a hug and let's go moment. I don't remember that from past sporting events. And so let's play Jack Hughes' interview after he scores the game-winning goal. Take a listen to this, and if you're not filled with some pride in America, man, you're missing out. Take a listen.
Jack, the first gold medal for the United States in 46 years, and you delivered it. Can you just describe the emotions of this moment right now?
This is all about our country right now. I love the USA. I love my teammates. It's unbelievable. The USA Hockey Brotherhood is so strong. And we had so much support from ex-players. I'm so proud to be American today.
This was such an incredible game to grind out. I mean, you're bleeding right through it just looking at you right now. Can you just talk about how difficult this gold medal was to win?
Unbelievable game by Hellebuck. He was our best player tonight by a mile. Unbelievable game. Unreal game by our team. That's just a ballsy, gutsy win. That's American hockey right there. That's a great Canadian team, but we're USA. We're so proud to be Americans. Tonight was all for the country.
Jack Hughes, that guy. So they asked him, like, what does this mean to you? And he talks about Connor Hellebuck was the best player in the world today. Yeah, it's like nothing about him, just like totally giving it to his teammates. Oh, that was awesome. So that's my something good. Two winter athletes, Johannes and our boy Jack. So the Klebos. I don't think there's any relation, but he's having a good year down in Illinois State.
Yeah, I keep seeing videos pop up of him like in one.
Yeah,
Top 3.
that's awesome. Another North Dakota guy. Well, I always give some honor to the North Dakota guys that are going and doing big things. So, okay, guys. Next episode, we've got a sweet guest coming up. We've had a couple solos here, but we've got an awesome guest that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. It's perfect for the time of season that person is in, going into an awesome couple weeks for that person. And I can't wait. So excited for that. Make sure to tune back here in a couple weeks. And then we're also going to be dropping some more just little content. Call it, I don't know if we've come up with a name yet, but just little 10-minute, 15-minute snippets you can throw on your drives to work, and those are going to be coming out here in the next few weeks as well, so keep your eyes open for that. But with that, we'll see you in a couple weeks. Thanks for coming and sitting down with us, and have a great rest of your day. See ya.